So good afternoon, everybody. And today I am very happy to congratulate you for the participation on this very interesting webinar on the applied Vedic technologies in the form of Ayurveda, Jyotish, Vastu, Yagya, and Yoga. And our host, our speaker today is Zoran Mitrović. He is a long time studying Vedic science, and already he is 40 years teacher of transcendental meditation. And we are very good friends. We know each other more than 40 years. And practicing yoga and all the technologies in that field. And the last 20 years, Zoran is living in India, in Rishikesh, and he was also studying different aspects of the Vedic science in India from the great masters, from the Pandits related to the Jyotish specifically. And he has a lot of knowledge, great experience, and he is also the manager of the most beautiful Ayurveda clinic in Rishikesh, Ayurveda Ayali. I was there, and I can say it's really fantastic and very well equipped in a modern way with the best Vaidyas and Ayurvedic technicians, which are giving beautiful treatments. And also, Zoran is the member of the World Yoga and Ayurveda community. And in Rishikesh, they are all respecting him very much, all the masters there from the Rishikesh. And also, I would like to send you greetings from the ICCR and the Office of the Ministry of Ayush in Zagreb, and the Indian Embassy, that we are organizing these regular events with different aspects of the Vedic science, yoga, and Ayurveda. And also, I would like to invite His Excellency Raj Kumar Srivastava, Ambassador of India in Croatia, to give our address and to our speaker.
Namaskar.
Yes, namaskar.
Namaste. Very good. Good to hear that you are connecting India and Croatia, not only Zagreb and Delhi, but also Rishikesh.
Sure.
Rishikesh is something that people look within India to go and actually connect to themselves, not connect to the nature, but connect to themselves. So I think it's wonderful that you are able to get India-Croatia connection established between Rishikesh. And Rishikesh is one place where anybody can find peace because the general atmosphere there is so positive. So I'm very happy to know. I was not aware that Mr. Zoran is based now in Rishikesh and has his institution of Ayurveda there. So it's a good knowledge for me to learn about it. And I look forward to hear you, your experiences, and in general about how this journey began, what have been the findings, and where is the world and the humanity heading as you see it, most peaceful place on earth, that is Rishikesh. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. And now I would ask Zoran to give us his knowledge from the fields of Vedic science. He is the master of Vedic science. And we know that there is a science and technology. So Veda has its own science explained in the mantras of the Veda, in the text and the sounds, and as the expression of the knowledge concerning all levels of the life in the universe. And also it has its own technology. And that technology comes from that science, from the knowledge. And from the Rig Veda, we have technology about the mantras, like Gayatri mantra, for improving the proper function of the whole physiology through the 24 syllables of Gayatri mantra, which corresponds to the 24 prakritis in the form of the sounds as a sound therapy. Then from the Vedangas, we have Jyotish, Shiksha, Kalpa, Vyakara, Nirukta, Chandas, and Jyotish. Jyotish is very much applied science about the structure of the evolution of each individual. It comes from Rig Veda, as the first 9 words of the Rig Veda are related with the 9 planets. And then in relation to the Rishi Devata Chandas, this is 9 multiplied by 3, we get 27 nakshatras. So everything it is mathematical analysis of the sound value of the Rig Veda is Jyotish. And then we get the space and time geometry in the manifest universe expressed as a proper sequence of the sounds in the Rig Veda. All the process of evolution can be calculated. For that, we need just know the point, the space and the time in this manifest universe, time of birth and the place. And then we can know everything from the past and in the future and in the present about what is manifested. About the person. Then from the Upavedas, we have Ayurveda, very much appreciated applied knowledge. And then we have Gandharva Veda, Stapatya Veda as a Vastu science. And then we have the Yajnas from Yajurveda. And and yoga from the Upangas, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga, Karma, Mimamsa, Vedanta. So all is contained in that big treasure of the Veda and all the applied technologies by which we can improve every aspect of the life of the human beings on the planet Earth, and also the whole planet Earth to improve the quality of life. So please, Zoran, you can give us more detailed presentation about that.
No, Jadranko, thank you. And thank you for opportunity to share some knowledge and experience with all of you. I'm very thankful for that. And I think one of the aspects of improving, as you are saying, all humanity is to have this kind of satsang, yeah? Just to speak about good things. And our subject today is Vedic science and application. It's a huge subject. You know, we can speak about that whole life, maybe not one life. Yeah, it is a huge knowledge, and there are many aspects into that. Vedic knowledge, it's Brahma Vidya. It's a knowledge about wholeness. Yeah, and as you rightly said, there are many aspects into it. There are many aspects into it. What was striking for me, it's obvious, but some time ago, it became very, how to say, very lively, and I was sharing that realization with many people. You know, we know about many great cultures in the past of humanity, and say Egyptian and great culture of Greece and many philosophers and so on. But what is very interesting about Vedic science is still alive. It is still alive. People are practicing and living Vedic knowledge. And as I'm speaking from India, actually one of the motivation why I came to India was to be in that atmosphere where Vedic science, Vedic knowledge is alive and practiced. Yeah, this is very important to understand, because if some knowledge is alive for so many thousands of years, so it is true knowledge in itself. It is the proof that it is true knowledge, because only the true things. Truth is not changing. It's not changing from today to tomorrow. And Vedic science was true thousands of years before, It is true now, and it is going to be truth in the future. So Vedic science is expressing that universal laws of nature, which are structuring, which are creating human life, which are supporting growth of human life and ultimately transformation of human life onto higher level of consciousness and higher states of consciousness. So it is alive and it is giving the fruits. As we see in last 20, 30 years, for example, popularity of yoga in the world, it's growing, it's so amazing. I was finding some data recently. There are, for example, only on Western countries and US, and there are about 30, 40 millions of people practicing yoga. Whatever yoga they do, we have different understanding, and some people will be, of course, putting more emphasis on some more superficial aspect, and some people will be doing this inner aspects of the yoga. Yeah, but only the fact that there are maybe in the world, we can, I think if we go with 100 millions or even more, we would be maybe there should be bigger number. You know, the people are practicing this science, so it's amazing. And we also witnessing in last years that level of consciousness is rapidly changing. There are more and more scientific researches showing the growth of consciousness, and there is more and more discoveries in modern science, especially in this quantum physics, which are totally in tune with that what Vedic science is telling. Yeah. So there, from one side, we are seeing this growth of knowledge. From another side, we see this process of big transformation and purification, but also according, as you mentioned, the science of time and Jyotish. Yeah. The Jyotish give us some insight into the future. We are going towards a very good time. We are going towards a time where there will be harmony, where technology will be used more intelligently. There will be more kind of cooperation and so on. You know, so that now we are in this phase transition. So now is the time actually to very good time to practice Vedic science. Yeah, Vedic science. In these times of transformation, it's very important to connect with the source. It's connected to connect with the source. And Vedic science, the basic point, what we are learning from there is that there is a source of everything. Source of everything is pure consciousness. It's our own self, and it's our own individual self. It's not different than universal self. So I think all of you have heard the terms of Atma and Brahma, and so this is the realization which we are getting through Vedic science. And now if we would look into the practical part, how we do it, yeah? So human life, we have several aspects. Of course, we have environment which is influencing us. We have our physical body. We have more subtle body, causal body, where all these old impressions are stored. So we have to deal with all these levels of existence. We have to deal with all these levels of existence. And that technology, practical technology, it's given in science of yoga. It's given in science of yoga. If you look into the yoga, at the beginning you have yama and niyama, which are the rules of behavior, what you will do and what you will not do. Yeah. Then after that it goes asanas. These are physical exercising positions. Yeah, physical position, and then you have pranayama. See, these are more outer aspects of yoga. And then after that comes pratyahara, which is the discipline of the senses. See, all these areas, they require a lot of explanation and a lot of talk, but we just kind of picture the, how to say, the way, yeah, how we can do it. Then after pratyahara, coming inner aspects of yoga, this is the dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. So this is our field in which we are working more. These are the inner aspects of the yoga, and basically it's meditation. Yeah, we all know about meditation, especially about transcendental meditation. We heard about that. We got it from Vedantic tradition. We got it through Maharishi Mahesh Yogi and his teacher Gurudev. So dharana, dhyana, and samadhi will allow mind to settle and will give direct experience of pure consciousness. So this is the, I would say, central point of all Vedic science. Just a direct experience of pure consciousness, of that level of consciousness which is holistic. Once when we experience that, then next step will be to stabilize through proper way of life and regular practice, not being in touch to the small things, yeah, to go ahead and to stabilize that state of consciousness and to grow into high states of consciousness. In yogic terminology, it is nirvikalpa samadhi, and then we heard from tradition and we know from personal experience there are even more higher states of consciousness. So that is the central point of the Vedic science. It's giving us the knowledge, explanation, and giving us technology to experience the source of everything within ourselves, our pure consciousness, and then to stabilize that experience. See, now I would recommend to everyone to study very valuable literature. It is in a form of the book nowadays. Yeah, maybe in some other times knowledge was transferred orally from teacher to disciple, from father to son, and it was going like that. Now we have books, yeah, and Vedas are recorded. So we have Maharishi Patanjali Yoga Sutras. This is a basic text, basic not in sense that it is simple or for the beginners. It is the text which we should study and which contains huge knowledge and give us a lot of knowledge. There are 4 chapters there, and as far as I recollect, it is in first chapter is Samadhi Pada. It speaks about different states of consciousness. Samadhi is the certain state of consciousness, yeah, and then it could be of different qualities. So in first chapter, the mechanics of consciousness is explained, and then in second chapter, its second chapter is on practice. It's on practice. It's sadhana pada, yeah. So it is on practice, and here I want to, why I'm mentioning to you, because I wanted to emphasize the role of Ayurveda in different branches of Vedic science. Because when Patanjali speaks about obstacles to samadhi, obstacles to development of higher states of consciousness, on the first in the list is the physical ailments, disease, yeah. So we all know from our life when a person is in the state of disbalance and there is high temperature or there are some other kind of problems, physical problems, this will be disturbing the practice. So here we have all science of health. So Ayurveda, as we all know, the meaning of that word is the science of life, yeah, life as a whole, not only physical aspect of life, but life as a whole. So Ayurveda, so that's why I was attracted to Ayurveda, because initially consciousness is pure. Ultimately, our self is always pure. And what makes difficulty to realize it's the state of the physical body. So you have to deal with the physical body and to purify it and to make it balanced. Once when physical body is balanced, then our experience of higher states of consciousness, it's more easily available. So there are also a lot of texts and a lot of aspects of Ayurveda. And in our activity here, we focused on giving opportunities to people to go through specific purification procedures, and which can be used as a cure and mainly also as a prevention. Yeah, prevention, we all know that. And it's also one of the sutras in Maharishi Patanjali Yoga Sutras, where it is said that suffering which is about to come, it can be prevented. On Sanskrit, it is Heyam Dukkam Anagatam. It is a very interesting thing because many people who read about philosophy and know about Vedic, Vedanta, and yoga, and all that, people heard about karma, and people think it is not possible to avoid. It is destiny, and it is kind of fixed thing. But actually, it's not like that. The philosophy of karma only makes us responsible, makes us to understand that we are the creators of our life, of our situation, of our health, environment, and so on. So, you know, by dealing with certain imbalances, you are also increasing the level of the harmony, and you're purifying your karma, preventing the bad effect of the past doings to come, and you are clearing the path towards the enlightenment, towards the highest states of consciousness. So that's why Ayurveda, it's very important aspect. It's in a group. Yadranko was saying that in short, it is in that group an aspect of Vedic science which is called Upaveda. It means secondary Veda. It is secondary because it is preparation for higher knowledge. It's preparation. It clears the path to realize that wholeness which is expressed in say Vedanta, which is also sing about in Sanghita and Rig Veda and so on. So apart from Ayurveda, we have Gandharva Veda, which is the music, which are very evolutionary sounds, which can be used during the day, in different times of the day. There are so many details. We are not going to go into that now, but just that you we are kind of aware about that, and which is to be used, which is there, which is lively, and we can use that knowledge. So these compositions are available, and we can use them before meditation or after meditation, during the day, to harmonize environment. So Gandharva music and these ragas for different times of the day, it's a very beautiful, it's somehow, when you listen this music, somehow the quality of the air, quality of the atmosphere, it's concretely changing. It's very interesting thing. Apart from that, we have also in this level of Vedic literature, we have, and science, we have Vastu Shastra, we have Stapatya Veda, which is art and architecture, and it is science of building proper house and living in proper house, living properly, because we are spending so much time in our houses, and so it will be good that we build our house taking in account this power source of the sun and moon and all these big influences from the nature. It's really amazing that our civilization, calling ourselves scientific, that this kind of things has been forgotten. But now, more and more, I just recently had some people, and there were some architects, and then they were, when I told them about Vastu, they were very impressed and very interested immediately. We found several books and supplied them this literature, so they were very enthusiastic about studying that. So it's very important aspect. So see, the area of the health is covered, area of the creating harmony in environment and helping the body to go through all this transformation throughout the day through vibration of Gandharva music, then proper house, which will make you protected from the stress. And then we have also Ayurveda, which is I think, to be studied with the administrators of the society, and Mr. Srivastava being in diplomacy. We heard that this is the branch of knowledge dealing with politics, dealing with preventing negativity. I think this is also in our time very interesting area to follow certain rules of ethics and moral, and the skill of negotiating, and skill of creating harmony through speech. It's a great thing. So this would be Upavedas, yeah. Then you were very right when you mentioned Jyotish. I was very impressed with Jyotish very early in my life, and started to study due to the blessing of Maharishi with some very old and competent pandits in India many years ago. And then, of course, then continued and met quite few knowledgeable people. And also nowadays, in that time, it was literature was not easily available, and many classical works were not translated in that time. But since that time, interest in Jyotish, like in all other branches of Vedic science, has grown significantly. And now you have literally hundreds of books, and I'm hearing that a lot of softwares, a lot of programs which can calculate that part. When I started to study, I was speaking with some old pandits. I would ask them how you calculate and what time it takes you to rectify the chart and to get into the proper time birth and everything. They would tell 6 months. It's amazing, yeah. Nowadays, with the help of computers, and in the last 30-40 years, this computer science also so much developed and technology developed. So we have softwares which will do this calculation part. In Jyotish, we have that what is called mathematics and this Ganit, yeah. So you have to calculate the things. You have to calculate the birth chart. So then, on the basis of the time of birth and the place of birth, and of course date, yeah, you would kind of make the kundali, make the horoscope, as it is called in a Western language, yeah. Basically, this is the picture of our solar system at that moment, and looking from that place where you were born. So whole astrology is based on astronomy. Yeah, it's based on astronomy. So, and in old times, and in if you want to be more competent in that field, you have to study mathematics, you have to study astronomy. It will be good for Jyotishi to know many areas of life, because one thing is predicting in India, there is very specific culture and family values and presence of these old traditional things. And another thing is if you go to the Europe and the Western world, which is not so deeply rooted in some cultural, ancient cultural values, which is more oriented towards material values, and we can freely say more superficial. And but thanks to the people who are interested in Vedic science and who are working on themselves, who are meditating, who are doing all these practices, so this knowledge is zooming forth. This knowledge will be more and more present in Western society. This would be that is actually only the way to create harmony all over the world. And here one small remark regarding India. Mr. Srivastava, that is on his department, his responsibility. I think India is the only country which has competency, which has knowledge which has power, or intellectual power, and also it's a huge nation, yeah, with a lot of beautiful varieties in every level of the life. India will be and should be the world guru. It should be what they call Jagat Guru, yeah. So from India, and like these departments, whether it is embassy, there are so many things to be done there. I'm not familiar with all aspects of work, but I remember in different countries of Eastern Europe and in Serbia, Croatia, and all this Russia, and so on and so on. Indian embassy was the center of the knowledge, where people could come and hear about yoga, and then they would invite some professors to speak and so on. So it is the one of the channels through which we should allow this knowledge to go around and to be practiced, to inspire the people to know more about Vedic science. Why I was telling about this liveliness of Vedic science, because see, when we went to school, we did not learn about Vedic science. We did not learn about Vedic science. And we learned about Greek culture, we learned about some other ancient cultures, which is, of course, very kind of enriching, and it's very positive thing to know about all these things. But the culture which is older than any, and which is lively, and which is actually all of these cultures which are younger than Vedic culture, and they got inspiration and energy from the Vedic culture, we did not learn about that source, So maybe it's too deep, maybe it's too deep, maybe it's too complex. But I think now, in this time coming, we should try to introduce it, and to have it in education, to have it in this terminology should be everyone should be familiar with that. See, also we know about value of the Sanskrit. Sanskrit is very important aspect. Sanskrit grammar and the structure of the language itself. It is the reflecting the most subtle mechanisms of creation, maintenance, and transformation in the nature. So every letter of Sanskrit alphabet, it is kind of representing, symbolizing, expressing certain level of evolution of consciousness. It's amazing thing. And there are whole texts, and not only grammar, but philosophical texts which are speaking about that. So there are a lot of details, but language is very, very impressive structure of language in itself. Very nice point also, coming back to Jyotish, very nice point Yadranko mentioned. Actually, in the very structure of the Jyotish, all these 9 planets and 27 nakshatras and 12 rashis and 12 bhavas, all these houses and so on, these are basically, how to say, elements of the Jyotish which you have to learn and then to combine in order to get some holistic vision, in order to get that what we call prediction. I would not even call it prediction. It is just to see the things as they are, and this on one level also this future and present and past, it is not divided. There is certain level. So actually Jyotish, the purpose of study of Jyotish is not to predict only and to impress the people and like that, Jyotish should be the part of the practice. It should be part of that's what we call sadhana, spiritual practice, apart from meditation, apart from yoga, pranayama, apart from Ayurvedic treatments. Jyotish should be part of sadhana or your practice, because ultimately the goal of Jyotish is the development of Jyotishmati pragya, of the intellect, which is kind of able to perceive the very subtle level, to perceive the truth, which is filled with the truth. So that is the purpose of Jyotish, and kind of looking into the chart and pondering and then transcending, then you get more and more kind of what we call intuition. It's just availability of some more deeper and truthful knowledge. And through Jyotish, it becomes this channel becomes more open. So many times you look into the chart and certain things come up, and then you may be on superficial level, you may be even surprised from where you got it, but it comes from inside. And then if you do it regularly, then this channel of finer perception, and it's more open. So this more subtle knowledge from the level where future, past, and presence are one, that knowledge is more available. So it's a great kind of. Apart from that, it gives you joy, and it gives you fulfillment, and it's if you consultations are done, it is a great opportunity to inspire the people and to kind of direct them towards their own self, their own infinite self, and so on. So it's a very inspiring area. I would recommend everyone to be informed about Jyotish. So I was telling you about studying the Yoga Sutras of Maharishi Patanjali. This is very useful literature. Another book which you cannot go around if you want to know about Vedic science is, of course, Bhagavad Gita. It is amazing text, and as you all know, because as Yadranko was telling to me, that the majority of people here are practicing meditation, and they may be also familiar with the different commentaries on Bhagavad Gita, and maybe many are practicing transcendental meditation. Maharishi made commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. See, in Gita, this dialogue in a very extreme situation of life on the battlefield, yeah, and we are all somehow on the battlefield of life, and we have to make decisions, and it's not many times it's not easy, yeah, especially in nowadays in this time of big transformation for whole world. So, and this is dialogue between Arjuna and Krishna, which is representing which is the wholeness, which is the Brahman, which is the pure consciousness in this world, in the body. Yeah, what is in Vedic science called the avatara. Yeah, so that was the Krishna's status, which we have to meditate long in order to be able to realize the fully the significance of such manifestations. So Krishna is answering to Arjuna, and right from the beginning, actually the second chapter would be the essence, yeah, everything is there, then there are a lot of elaboration. And then right at the beginning of his answer, he is telling the basic truth of life, which if you realize everything is different, the life is different, life becomes divine. He tells him that the indweller of the body is immortal. Indweller of the body is immortal. So there was never time when we were not there, Krishna and Arjuna and so on. You read this text, it's very beautiful. It's very beautiful. And of course, there are different kind of commentaries, different great teachers commented. Very famous in traditional Vedanta is Shankara's commentary. Nowadays, we had the commentaries of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. He emphasized in his commentaries what is the main thing, this transcendence and pure consciousness. And throughout the Maharishi's work, he always spoken about that what is the main, which has been forgotten, that the essence, that the basis of everything. So, and plus Maharishi, of course, given technologies to experience that directly. So I would tell you, if Maharishi Patanjali Yoga Sutras, then Bhagavad Gita, that is very beautiful literature. Then you have a lot of other things like very famous Vedantic text is Yoga Vasishta. This is, can you imagine, this is the teaching of the Vasishta to Rama. Rama is another avatar. So there is a teacher to teach the teachers of all teachers. So it's really amazing, you know, what how complex, how huge, and how actually enlightening and bliss giving is this Vedic knowledge and Vedic literature. So why I'm telling you also about the literature to study, because this is the part of our discipline. This is the part of our discipline. You have in, yeah, this is one of the niyamas, one of the disciplines which we should practice regularly. It is svadhyaya. So it is the study. So every day you should devote at least 1 hour studying the text, because it's inspiration, it's giving you knowledge, and you can find your experiences explained through this text. And this is to verification also of your experiences. It's verification that you are on the right path. So there is number of Upanishads and some other, you know, literature which it goes from Shankara. We are more into that kind of line, and it's Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta, non-dual Vedanta. It is the philosophy of unity. Yeah, ultimately everything is one. Yeah, there is no separation. So this kind of feeling of not separateness, not otherness, not strangeness, this is the feeling which we have to develop. That's why ultimately actually we came on this earth. And we people who know more about these things, you all who are practicing, and it happens today, word is given to me to speak up, but I'm sure that, see, like my old friend Yadranko, he himself is a great, very sincere practitioners of yoga, and a lot of, he made, I think, one of the thickest book on yoga in modern times. I think it's called Vedic Yoga, yeah? So this knowledge is there, you know it. I just actually reminding everyone to practice that knowledge and to spread it around and to grow into that feeling of unity. That is why we are born here, and that is our responsibility. By growing into that kind of feeling of connectedness and being one with everything, that we contribute to the world peace, we contribute to the harmony, we contribute to the happiness of all other people. So unity is the goal. Unity is the goal of human life, and without ignoring our other smaller goals in life. And there are people having families, there are people having their jobs and other responsibilities, but daily we should be practicing. When in Yoga Sutras you read about practice, it is regular practice, repeated practice, regular practice. So that is the to be done. Then you know, once a year you should have time to do purification. You should do panchakarma once a year at least. Then you have time, you study Jyotish, you study Upanishads, you study Yoga Vasishta, you study the Gita and all these texts, and maintain also certain level of inspiration, certain level of consciousness during activity. It is not that we meditate. I have to tell you, it's because we are sharing some experience, watching certain people who are doing meditation, yeah. So after some time in the routine of the life, also meditation becomes kind of routine thing, and becomes mechanical more, yeah. So in order to keep it lively, to keep it progressive, to keep it giving you to give you more joy all the time, more so to that you feel the growth, it is good to during activity, quality of our activity is very important, So then if you do some helping the people or helping them to know about to improve their health, for example, in Ayurvedic text, I tell you one point. It's just coming, so we can have some questions and answers to direct but what is written there, the person who is suffering some problems, health problems, first what he should do, he should help other people to be healthy, to be more healthy. So I mean, we don't have to wait that we become sick, yeah. So we can help other people, spreading information, or if you are in that kind of profession. So this kind of giving and sharing the knowledge, it's very, very important aspect. So whatever is your duty, so whatever is your job, we should find some way to do it from heart, to give something to the people. Even if people do hard business and earning money, and if they are sitting on stock market or something like that, but I believe that it is possible to find something more human, more hard, some hard value there. Ultimately, if we earn some money even that way, then we can at least give some charity and share and like that. So these are all things. If you look into Indian culture, it is very much present. It is very much present. There are a lot of trusts and a lot of charitable work is going on. And you have places here in Rishikesh where people just so-called poor people, yeah, or maybe people who are wandering around, monks and other people, renunciates, they are wandering around and they come on the place, and there is a food served, beautiful food, and they no one has to be hungry, no one has to beg or to suffer, and so on. So if you are speaking about Rishikesh, Mr. Srivastava was very right to remember and to prize Rishikesh. It is very good place. It is the last village before you start to climb more higher into Himalayas. We are only on 300 meters here altitude, but then within 15-20 minutes you can be already on 1,000 or more than 1 kilometer. There are some temples around where you can go. Then they are already on 1,200 meters or 1,500 meters, where already you can see the peaks of Himalayas. So it is very beautiful place, and the richness to this place, and of course Ganga is given. Ganga river is here. It is flowing from the Himalayas, from the so-called place called Gomukh. This is the source of the Ganga, and then it's possible to go there and to visit. It's that's aspect of we are mentioning the certain points. This is part of the culture, and it is part of the practice. It's called yatra. It means pilgrimage. So you can go to the holy places. When we speak about value of the holy places, it's a great thing. When you are on good place, say Himalayas, on the bank of the Ganga, or there are many kind of these power spots, so to say. You don't have to do much. You just sit there and just be in that atmosphere. So these are holy places because they are pure, and there is certain kind of energy there. Some lively quality of energy is different. So when we go to big city, we know how it is there on the market, and how noisy, and how what could be certain kind of energies there. But when we go on to holy place, it is different energy, and you can just sit there and get full with that energy, full with that quality. That qualities will be enlivened within your physiology. So it's very good to do pilgrimage. This is also one of the aspects. Of course, there are outer pilgrimage. We go different holy places and get enliven different qualities. the biggest pilgrimage is inner pilgrimage. When we go into our spiritual center, when we go into pure consciousness, when we transcend, inner pilgrimage has a great value. But as a part of the practice, part of the cultivation of the nervous system, part of the cultivation of behavior and so on, it is also to go and to see holy places. So that I would also inspire you, and I would also advise you to do. Come to India, feel that collective consciousness, value of collective consciousness of the country. When we speak about India, I think Mr. Srivastava also would agree with me. Original name of India is not India. It is also modern and maybe more inspired by foreigners' name, but the original name of India is Bharat. Bharat, which means the devotion to the highest, devotion to the God, and devotion to this fullness of the nature which is ultimately there. So you visit India, that would be also important aspect of the spiritual practice, because by now, of course, there are in every country beautiful places and beautiful people and nature, no doubt about that. But in India, it's a little bit more, maybe. Yeah? So if you've never been, please come and experience India. And all this, what we are mentioning, all these different aspects, most probably many of that we are forgetting, and within half an hour or something, it's not really everything coming into the mind, but you practice everything and move towards the unity, move towards the feeling of oneness, towards feeling of harmony. And that would be the most practical application of Vedic science, yeah, that we live in harmony, that we live in harmony, that we live in unity. That is the ultimate of Vedic science. There are a lot of philosophy, a lot of kind of terminology, and who is interested could learn and study. It's also very nice, but the essence of everything is this growth in unity. So I hopefully it's not too long, and hopefully I give you certain points. Most probably many of you know many things. I hope maybe some nuances, some new things also I could tell you. Jadranko is our leading the conference and our discussion, so he could maybe kind of, we can see some questions if there or anything, so we could put more yeah, but that would be in very short, yeah, little bit together, all together.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure speaking about good things, and
Yes.
it's infinite, as we say. It's Brahma Vidya. It's a knowledge
Yes.
about wholeness, and we try to give highlight certain points which are maybe important. Practice. That's important.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zoran, very much for a beautiful overview
Yeah.
of the all technologies of the Vedic science. And I would like to just repeat what you said, that the Vedic science, it's written in specific language, which is called Sanskrit. Sanskrit means perfectly structured. We can say it is the language of the nature and has a unique value among all other languages. Its structure and the influence which it has, and which was scientifically measured, influence on the brain, that it is structuring the brain cells and improving all abilities of the function of the brain. And this is unique thing. And I think that we need to promote Sanskrit more, to be included even in the high school education, as it is Latin language or the old Greek language. because the Sanskrit is the basis of all and everything, and we should not anymore think about some local European or whatever, but the global, the global education, so that the young people, the students of the high school, can have insight into the global culture, because it is the time now, and now the topic of this year and celebration of the International Yoga Day is Yoga and Humanity. It means it is referring to the whole world. And the whole world and all the programs now, there was also through European Yoga Federation and United Consciousness Organization from India. It was working with the president of ICCR for the C20 organization, Civil 20 organization, which is adding to the G20, which India is hosting this year. And the C20 is now promoting one world, so one family, and one future. So it is now the movement to be kind of citizens of the whole planet Earth, global. And as it is in the Vedas stated, Vasudeva Kutumbakam, so that the whole world is our family, to go beyond the local boundaries and the local cultures, and see what is the world culture. And this aspect should be included now in the education in all countries. And the most important aspect of the language is the Sanskrit for the whole world, because even on that, when they were sending that satellite in the universe to see for some maybe possible some other civilization somewhere, and they put the Sanskrit words there as the message. Okay. So I think this would be something excellent that we work also in Croatia, making as many courses for the Sanskrit, for the people to learn Sanskrit, and also starting to giving proposition for the high school for the children, because this will structure the brain physiology of the children to have better results in all other subjects they are studying. So yes, and please, if you have any question, those who are participating. Yes, they are very happy with your exposition, Zoran.
Thank you.
And
yes, I just wanted to thank you for this very good session by Mr. Zoran about Vedic science and talking from Rishikesh. And I agree that, like we call it, that when we talk about connecting with the net, we say that you should be in the zone. So just being in the zone, you become connected. And you said that being in the zone, you will feel connected. You don't have to do anything, just be in the zone. And that is the positive energy that you get touched by. And also the fact that you mentioned about Jyotish and Vedic sciences, about like what is written in Vedas from Rig Veda about the universe. A lot of discoveries, rediscoveries have happened many years later. And we think that's the time humanity got to know about it. But that knowledge is there from a long time as the manual of universe. So, and I think Jyotish Shastra also tells about the tendencies of individual and the liberties and the flexibilities each individual has to manifest the future within the limits of the karma. So in that context, I think it's good that we have such kind of discussions across the globe, not just only in a small ecosystem.
Exactly. Yes, very nice. Thank you. Very beautiful. Very beautiful.
Very good to see you, and hope to see you physically sometime.
hopefully, yes. Please come. Now in few days here is starting a big international conference on yoga. There is a yoga conference. It's famous all over the world, and we'll have some very interesting guests this year. I just seen today a very huge banner. This Dr. Tony Nader, who is the leader of Maharishi movement, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi movement, he is coming. He will be also coming and giving some talks, and I think also there may be some other scientists and some yoga teachers, but it is the, you know, a few years ago it was promoted like Rishikesh is the world capital of yoga. World capital of yoga. So everyone who is doing yoga should come and visit. It's it is I'm telling, it's very nice environment now. Ganga is very pure and very green color, emerald color. It's amazing. You know, I just a few days ago there were some big holidays also, so we had the dip into Ganga. It's amazing experience. It's amazing experience. I invite everyone to experience that. So that is, you dip in the Ganga, dip into the Vedic science. That is the thing, you know. This is what is great about India is that what we speak about knowledge, and, you know, in the West, knowledge is somehow separated from life. The philosophy and all this, it's something, some people thinking, and for some people, it's not like that. Actually, in India, it is more, how to say, on the level of everyday life. This is still, in spite of all transformations and changes also in India, but it is great the value of India. This kind of knowledge is, it's here. It's not that you have to go somewhere far. Very simple rickshaw driver will tell you about some Vedantic truth, you know. They all, especially when they see foreigner, they will tell, oh, you know, God is one, and this is, and so on. So this is very, very inspiring, and it's sometimes amazing that very simple people will be telling you great philosophical truths. And that is one of the things about India, you know, that the knowledge is not somewhere far and somewhere deep. It is on the, of course it is deep, but it is also on the very surface of life. So we have a lot of this kind of events, and very simple people you meet. And like last conference, Yadranko organized with that Swamiji, this Shankar Das, yeah. So we sometimes meet, and it's very simple person, but he has a lot of light and a lot of innocence and a lot of clarity, and it's really interesting. It's very amazing, you know. You don't, and you can meet many people like that in India, you know. Some very remote village, and they're really, really enlightened people, you know. We sometimes think enlightened people, they have to be, you know, they are always some kind of very special, or maybe very much educated, or I don't know what, you know. But enlightenment is natural phenomena. It's natural phenomena. It's never taken away from us. It's never taken away from us. Atma, soul, it's never taken from us, you know. And because of this age where we are living and orientation on material values, it became some far and abstract thing. Otherwise, it is how we should live. It's natural state. It's what they call sahaja. It is natural state of being. It's natural state of being, yeah? So very simple people can just, you know, you see how joyful and how full of light they are, you know, and without knowing maybe some great terminology of what we speak in Veda, Vedanga, Upanga, Darshanas, and so on and so on. This is, everything is contained within us and within our own self, you know. And then, of course, there is complexity, who wants to study and so on, you know, but enlightenment is very close. And in India, why inviting everyone, in India, it's concrete. It becomes, you know, it's here, it is lively, you know. So that's why I think everyone should
I
come.
think
Now,
it is so because, you know, in India, you said that India's real name is Bharat.
yeah,
And Bharata is very beautifully explained that Bharata, Bha is for Bhav, Ra is for Rag, and Ta is for Tal. Bhav, Rag, Tal means the soul, the meaning is Bhav, Rag is the rhythm,
Okay.
Rag is the tune, and the Tal is the rhythm. So basically, the whole life that we live, if we live with the meaningful life, with the rhythm and tune, then we have actually enjoyed the moment, which is the being. The nature of human being is to be.
Yes, yes, very nice,
And you
very
were
nice.
talking about education. The education system today, in order to find knowledge, we have become the knowledge seeker of survival. And survival is never enjoyable because survival is always fighting.
Of course, of course, of
So
course.
being is about just being in the moment and living it in that bhav rag tal, which is bharata, bharat. And the real essence of life is about, like Nikola Tesla said, that it's all about energy, frequency, and vibration.
Right, 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 right. We have that in Indian philosophy. If you look into Kashmir Shaiva philosophy, then they speak about spanda. They speak about all these things, you know. So then it's a lot. I think maybe in future, and nowadays new generation and people with the fresh brain and scholars will come up, you know, to make this comparison. Because there is, when you look into Vedic science, actually, you know, I know from Ayurveda, whatever new diseases are coming or invented or whatever was happening in last all this period, but you never can go beyond three doshas. Everything can be explained in the terms of three doshas and this 15 sub doshas, and everything is already there. And now what will be needed is some educated people who can compare, who can kind of put together modern knowledge and ancient knowledge, and then it will also, this old Vedic knowledge will give direction in which you can go, will give
Yeah.
direction,
So I
because
think this is not a new thing. It has happened all through the history of human civilization. For
right,
example, when Schrodinger
yeah,
uh, did the equation on wave theory, he said that I go to Indian Upanishads to find the like motivation and find the direction. And
exactly.
same thing Einstein. Einstein said that if you listen to the Gayatri mantra, you find that this is the frequency at which universe hums. So
Oh,
when you are playing the Gayatri mantra, you are actually resonating with universe, and that's why your energy becomes larger than what you are as a human being.
very good,
So a
very
lot
good.
of these have been scientifically proven. And last year, in 2022, the Nobel Prize for Physics was given to three scientists who have last 30 years experimented and proven that universe is illusion.
Illusion, yeah, they speak about this principle of entanglement and all that. Yeah, 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 that is,
So
that
for
is
that, the Nobel Prize was given last year. And
yes,
5,000
yes.
years back, it should have been given to Vedas.
True, true. No, you know, see, for example, this concept of multi-universe and all that. This, see, if you open Yoga Vasishta, there is a lot of talk about this thing, you know. So it is many,
So they're
many
coming,
things.
in Vedas, it is mentioned that as inside, as outside.
Yeah,
Right now, they are coming to this holographic model of universe, where
exactly.
whatever is in the universe, the same model exists inside your atom or
Eh,
inside your smallest particle.
sure.
And which basically means that when you do yoga, you can visualize the universe within you.
Exactly, exactly. You, that is the unity ultimately. Yeah, this principle we heard from Maharishi many times speaking about it. It's a term Mahato Mahyan Anoranyan, bigger than the bigger, smaller than the smaller, and as above, so below. As below,
Correct.
so above. This principle is known, it is known, and I think now is the time to realize it, and more globally. That
Yeah.
is the thing. Now to give this knowledge globally, and then also Yadranku, I did not know all these things, but it's very very inspiring thing. You know, it should be in education. It is science of creative intelligence, science of, you know, or science of
Now,
Vedic. Yeah, it is.
now from October last year, we have a Sanskrit professor in University of Zagreb.
Oh, very beautiful. Very
First
beautiful.
time.
Oh, very good. You should see that. Then see, Zagreb is also not far from Belgrade. So you go and inspire your colleague in Belgrade. You must be easily kind of communicating. So they should be inspired. Then Macedonia also. There, see, all these languages actually in also in Serbia, they made all dictionary. They made all dictionary. They had so many words are the same as the Sanskrit words and the roots and all that. So it will be very inspiring for them to
So first
do it.
time, I think first time that kind of effort, recorded history is Antun Mihanovic. Antun Mihanovic, the national anthem writer of Croatia,
Yeah.
in 1820 had written a small booklet of 200 words of Sanskrit, which are exactly taken in the Slavonic languages, including like Croatian and
Yes.
Serbian
Yes.
and all. So
Yes.
that was 1820, 203 years back.
Right. No, it is there. It is there, but it should become more. You know, we should not have this that it is exotic and special. It should become common. It should become matter of daily life. That is very important now to make it close to the people. Not some exotic scientist was doing something and this and that. No, it is for everyone. It is for daily life. It is very practical thing. So that is the time. Now is the time.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
All
Thank
the best.
you. Thank you. Thank you for your knowledge and inspiration. Thank you.
Sorry
Good.
to interrupt. I have to say, we had in Belgrade, I don't know if you're familiar, we had two big Sanskritologists. His name was Professor Radmilo Stojanovic,
Okay.
and another one is Branislava, I forgot her name. So, and she made, you said about the dictionary, she made this tome, so many books that prove the translation from Sanskrit to Serbian, Serbian to Sanskrit. Like, I don't know how many books. So that already exists. That's what I wanted to say.
Very good. Very good. No, I'm. It's beautifully. Only what I'm feeling. It's maybe because of my experience. Maybe we were kind of. We did not study all these things. We did not know it, and you know, I think what when we speak about this global culture, that is definitely Vedic culture. It is definitely Vedic culture means culture based on knowledge, culture based on consciousness, because there is no other basis. There is no other basis. So, and in our very young age, depends on interest. Yeah, we may started very young to look into the different branches of knowledge, but officially and in school, we did not have all these things. And if you would have, for example, Sanskrit, if you would have some such kind of study of deeper levels of natural law, the science of creative intelligence and so on, that would be very enriching. And that is the, actually, through education, it's only way to create competent and matured and harmonious and enlightened people. Because when they are young, because if you wait 50, 60 and all that, physiology gets stressed, physiology gets sick, a person get tired. So right from the childhood, as Mr. Srivastava must be knowing that, because in tradition of India, you should get this initiation, you should get spiritual practice already age of 4 or 5. When you, as he is telling, this Upanayana or Gayatri mantra is given depending on your status and so on. It's given very early. So this kind of our society, there are religions and so on, you know. But anyway, people can be familiar with this knowledge very early. That is the great secret, because your brain is fresh, your physiology is maturing, and you have great potential to do spiritual practice. You have great potential in your karmas. You can prevent many things and not suffer throughout the life. And what you are telling, the common saying was that this life is the struggle and it's suffering and so on, and we see that around. So we get what we think. So it is the time to introduce this truth. It's not concept, it is truth, that life is the bliss, life is the wholeness, that people have to get used on that right from the childhood. By only thinking like that, we will manifest that unity, we will manifest that harmony. Otherwise, if we think in terms of struggle, in terms of opposites, in terms of fighting, in terms of aggression, and so on, if we tell, oh, it is like that, life is like that, we should kind of give to young people opportunity to create more harmony within themselves and around themselves. But we have to, for what is this, all this inheritance? Millions of generations lived before us. And then when we were some 13, 14, 15 years of age, we had to ask the questions again and again about life and wholeness and these things. We should have gained that knowledge right from the beginning. We should have gained that knowledge from the parents. So now when we have this experience, so then we should allow young people not to suffer and not to search. Knowledge is there. Knowledge is there. Knowledge is lively. So we should just give to young people. That would be very, very important. You know. Then we'll have different civilization all together. It's very important points. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much, Zoran. It's already time.
Yes.
We need to conclude slowly, but beautiful. Thank you very much for reminding us about the different beautiful values of the technologies, which are lively in India, like also Vedic mathematics, you know, for the children to learn that aspect, which is developing the left and the right, also brain, parts of the brain, and intuition and all other qualities. So there are many things on which we can work. So thank you once again on behalf of all present, and also very much thank to His Excellency Raj Kumar Srivastava for addressing this webinar, and then we see next time with the next topic.
Great.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Greetings. Greetings. Thank you.
Dankeschön von Deutschland. Dankeschön.
Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste.